Hi everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to give you the 5 things that I wish I knew when I first started learning how to program a few years ago. So if you're ready, let's just jump right into it. Number 1, it's really never too late to start. I thought for me, I didn't start learning how to program until I was in my late 20s, and I kind of started thinking, there's absolutely no way I'm going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to learn. I kind of missed my boat. I'm kind of stuck doing what I'm doing. I'm never going to be able to switch and learn something new. But you have to know the best time to learn how to program is whenever you want to. If you're ready to start learning today, go ahead and start learning today. There is nothing stopping you. There are plenty of people who have started learning how to program in their 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s. There's nothing stopping you from learning if you really want to do it. I know it can be pretty challenging, especially if you're on social media and you see the amazing 10-year-old who built a really awesome program, and can be pretty discouraging if you're older. But that leads me to my second point, which is comparison really is the death of joy. If you spend your time constantly comparing yourself to where other people are at, you're going to get discouraged very quickly. I remember when I first started learning, I would compare myself to the instructors on the courses that I would take that I was learning. I would see how polished all their content was and the apps that they were building, and it looked so easy for them. I never even stopped to think that, hey, there's a lot of editing that goes into this. There's trial and error. They had to figure out how to make these apps work that they're actually showing. It's not a smooth, easy process. So just always remember that where you're at is where you're at, and that's great. If you're making progress every day, you're still growing and you will get to where you want to go. Comparing yourself to others does you no good except discourage you. So highly recommend you don't do it. My third point is programming is hard, and it's going to be a lot harder than you might think. It takes time, it takes practice. You are learning a brand new language, right? This is a skill that doesn't come naturally. It takes time. You need to put in the effort and the work every day. Now, there are small things you can do, even if you only spend 15, 20 minutes a day working on it. All of that little time accumulates, and you will get better and better and better as long as you keep at it. But remember, it's going to be hard. You're going to come across challenges that you can't immediately solve, which leads into my fourth point. It is okay to step away. Now, what do I mean by that? I don't mean you've come into a hard problem and you just quit for 2 months or 3 months and just stop learning. At that point, you're going to be starting back at square one, right? Have to relearn everything you already knew. But what I mean by it's okay to step away, if you have a hard problem that you're working on, and you feel like you're just banging your head against the desk, don't keep doing that. It is okay to take a break, walk away, spend some time doing something else. Even if it's one project that you're working on that you got stuck, but there's another idea that you have that you want to try working on, go do it. If you distract your brain, take your mind off of it, you'll be surprised some of the things you can actually solve. There have been multiple times where I've run into a problem that I had no idea how to even start to solve the issue. But then I stepped away for a few hours, maybe even took the rest of the day off, not thinking about it, then woke up the next morning and all of a sudden I had an idea. I had a thought of how I could actually work on it and solve it. So always remember, it's okay to step away. And last but not least, especially since this channel, I'm trying to help people get a job. This is kind of for the job seekers. Number 5, remember that applying for jobs is going to be a job. That's something that they don't tell you a lot of times when you start programming, or even if you go through a boot camp. But applying for jobs can be a full-time job. For me personally, when I first started applying, I would be sending off resumes to dozens of companies a week. I would be tailoring them to try and match those descriptions. If I felt it was necessary, I would write cover letters to try and help myself stand out. Now you have to realize I sent out well over 200 applications before I ever even landed my first job, had dozens of interviews, and had multiple technical challenges that I had to work on. This takes a lot of time. It's not easy. And all the work that goes into it prior to even interviewing, you have to work on having a good resume. You're working on having a good portfolio that shows your skills and the things you've worked on. And in software engineering industry, for a lot of companies, they have technical challenge interviews where it is computer science fundamentals, it is algorithm problems. So you're on places like LeetCode, HackerRank, CodeSignal, going through all their tests and challenges, and that alone can take up hours of your time. So just remember, it's not going to be easy, but it is going to be worth it once you land that first job. Keep putting in the effort and it will pay off, I promise. So that does it, everybody. Those are my 5 tips of things I wish I had known before I started programming. If you appreciate the video, please be sure to leave it a like and consider subscribing so that you don't miss when I make new uploads. Thanks, everybody. Catch you in the next one.